handbrake thing gets your attention.
Yeah, it does.
The one in the micro doesn't.
Hello and welcome to Lost in South Oz. Today I'm just on the road in the rain and I sort of thought, hey, I'll show you what the road looks like when it's dry. Some of these people who like driving videos or road videos might actually like a wet road video.
Yeah, wet roads, right? This is SA's wet, and that's Bridget.
I'm Bridget. Just so you know. We might sound like each other, but we're not. Anyway, I usually do the editing and the camera work, and Julie usually does the research, and she helps me with some of the editing by research, helping with maps, stuff
checking
like that.
The spelling.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, spell check on my phone and stuff. So, you know, you got to be careful these days.
Bridge had a deprived childhood. My dad played spelling games with me. Bridget's mum didn't play spelling games with her, so I learnt to spell.
Let's not get into what my mum did.
Bridge, I was being funny with the spelling games.
Oh, I thought I had the heater turned off, but yeah. Oh, well, today we're just heading out to Hamley Bridge, and it's a shocking road, isn't it? And
yeah.
In true South Australian form, nobody lets up. They all tailgate. You know, you can click it on the road at 100 kilometres an hour, and you've got a little SUV stuck up your bum. And they wonder why the front of them look as though they've all had their noses wiped off and their bums are all smashed in.
That's a fair description.
So if you're looking for a half decent wreck, look for South Australia. There's plenty of them. Because most of these people tailgate. But what they usually do is just dump them in their front yard and move on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that was just an observation. It's just sort of funny, you know. I know that a lot of people mightn't like that, but it's an observation I see all the time.
Pretty much.
Yeah. A lot of tailgaters and a lot of wrecked cars in people's front yards.
Unfortunately, these days they don't hound you out of South Australia for being critical of South Australia.
Oh, look.
In the 19th century they did.
Look, no. Don't get me wrong. I like South Australia. I mean, I don't even stutter it, you know. It's just, we came from New South Wales, and when I came here, just like most people, I came here for a number of reasons. We had there was family here, but we also, it was much cheaper to buy back before COVID here. And the things in the city were just getting too full on. So, well, especially Sydney, and it was changing. So we decided that it was a good time to come out and buy. And lucky enough, things have tripled in price since COVID. So, to be honest. And there's actually, that's the Hamley Bridge turn-off. There's actually, like I said before, South Australia has a lot to offer. And, you know, I didn't know a lot about South Australia when I came. And I'm sort of happy I did.
probably need to know.
Oh look, there's so many things about South Australia you don't want to like, and there's so many things you do want to like. I mean, what's what they say? It's the murder capital of Australia.
No, it's not actually. It's just got a reputation for it.
Yeah.
Because the murders over here tend to be a bit more interesting than average.
Yeah. So there's
So it makes the headlines more.
Well, it's one of the states that's home to one of its biggest mass murderers next to Port Arthur. I won't get into that. But I don't know. I like South Australia because it's got a lot of rural property, and it's got a lot of history to share with people. And in general, people here are nice. The friends that I have made and kept are really nice people. Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it?
That makes a lot of sense, yeah. Reluctantly, I have to agree.
Yeah. But yeah, we're poking along the 100 and 100 zone here. I could turn the windshield wipers on faster, but I still don't think they'd keep up with the rainwater. Lately we've been working on the Finsbury line, and it's been quite interesting because, like I said, when I first came to South Australia, I didn't know nothing. I thought, wait a minute, it's not part of the, the old, the old convict settlement, and everything sort of happens you're brought up to believe everything happens on the East Coast.
Oh, yeah.
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 And lo and behold, I find out that South Australia had a really big role in the Second World War, and there was a big military, well, it probably still is, but
and after as well.
yeah, we had soldiers from, especially American bases around here, and in the Second World War and the Cold, I guess most people are saying the Cold War, there was a lot happening here.
We had American planes in Gawler Airport. We had American troops in little old Sandy Creek.
Yeah. So, and they had a lot of, America, I believe America had a lot of, testing equipment or listening equipment for, nuclear stuff based in the middle of Australia. And so, other than that, I mean, it had a huge railway network, and and the lifestyle that goes alongside all that. Like when people got a job back in the 40s and 50s, it was a job for life. There wasn't multi-skilling like there is now. If you got asked to do someone else's job, you had reasons to complain. Looking for compo, basically. I remember when I first started working for the council in Sydney, and I was contracted to Sydney, so I was in South Sydney, and if they'd go on strike for anything, you were asked not to do your job, that can't happen. And then multi-skilling came along, and it's like, wait a minute, for years we've learned to do one job and do it well, and now the boss can ask us to do more than one thing. Crazy, right, Jill?
Pretty much.
Did that happen for you when you were working in rail?
Not to the same extent, because I was in train crewing for most of my railway career, and it was either you're a train driver or a train guard, and the jobs weren't interchangeable. Eventually, I did both jobs, but at different times.
But if they asked you to grab a broom, that was like sacrilege, was it?
No, generally speaking, the train crew didn't grab a broom. I wasn't frightened to grab a broom, but usually I went looking for someone.
Yeah, see, I I was I guess a general labourer, but I also was a plant operator and a truck driver. So yeah, but you know, and there was for a long time you couldn't swap from job to job, and you know. But anyway.
And it's, whether I was a driver or a guard, I was still more or less in charge of the train, and so I couldn't take my mind off that to go and sweep up some mess or something. So I had to go and find someone with a broom to do that.
So yeah, that was a tricky turn. So I mean, back in, a lot of this rail was pulled out in like 74 to 78. I would
80s
be,
and 90s.
oh, and some 80s and 90s. I mean, by the 90s, multi-skilling would have been in, or multitasking. But yeah. Yeah. There's not a lot of rain out there, but there's enough to give me visibility issues. Well, I'm hoping that wasn't a bird that just went into the car. When I used to drive backwards and forwards across Australia, well, basically from Sydney all the way across here, and I've taken both of our cars, and this one I took across the ranges in Victoria, and you know, sitting on 100, and this kookaburra flew into the guard and put a dent in the guard at 110 or 100 or whatever it was, and you know, I dodged it quite well. I swerved because it was going straight into the grill, but you haven't got many, even across the ranges there. It's a one-lane road, so you haven't got many places to go. So I dodged it enough that it didn't go in the front of the grill, that it went in the side, and so I got the plant stock with front guard on the driver's side. So, but let's just say I didn't want to really hit the kookaburra, but you know, these things happen, don't they?
They do.
I quite often have to bip at the birds because the grain trucks leave grain all over the road, and you come along and the birds, the stupid pigeons just sit there, and they wait until the last minute and then try and fly up in the air as you're driving through. And the birds can make a nice mess of your radiator. And at about $700 a pop, it's not funny.
No, not really.
I think I'm coming into town here.
Yeah, it's looking that way.
Yeah. This is Hamley Bridge. We're coming into town. Well, thanks for watching. I'm Bridget.
I'm Joy.
Please like and subscribe. I'm going to put these driving videos into a group. But anyway, thank you very much. Take care.